Out of all these footballers we will cover in this video, there are few who have ruined their reputation and life as bad as Mason Greenwood, the young football prodigy who became a fan favorite player. Everything was going well for him. But this is when disaster would strike for Mason Greenwood. The footballer had started dating a girl called Harriet Robeson, and everything seemed fine between the couple, but on April of 2020 Mason Greenwood and Harriet Robeson broke up. This will be very important later. To make matters worse, when Mason Greenwood and the English national team were traveling to a game in Iceland, Mason Greenwood and his teammate Phil Foden met up with some girls, the only problem being there was COVID-19 guidelines going on at the time to protect the English national team. While with the girls, Mason Greenwood would be caught inhaling hippie crack, putting a dent in his reputation, but definitely not as big as his following controversy. After this, Mason Greenwood and Harriet Robeson would get back together. Fast forward to January 2022, and Harriet Robeson took to Instagram to reveal what Mason Greenwood had been doing to her, including a clip where Mason Greenwood would attempt to rape her. When Manchester United found out about this, they obviously were not happy and terminated his contract. But there is still a dwindle of hope for Mason Greenwood, something I can't say about the next person. In 2003, Ronaldo said, "If you think I am good, then you should see Fabio Payne." Most fans had never heard of him before, but at the time he had several European scouts trying to sign him. 14 Sporting was paying him more than first-team players, but you may ask then how come I have never heard of him? With all the money Sporting was paying Payne, he became reckless and bought a big house with a pool and had filled his garage up with cars before he could even drive. At this point it was no problem because he was still playing well and finished the season with a staggering 28 goals in 29 games. By 2007, Payne turned 19 years old and Ronaldo would be getting his first Ballon d'Or, and Fabio Payne would still not be able to make the first team at Sporting. After several failed loans for top division football teams, it seemed that Fabio Payne's career had ended before it even started. But Payne got a second chance for redemption when Chelsea's manager Luis Felipe had just taken over, and with his arrival he brought several Portuguese players from Deco to Bonsianca Ricardo, and last but not least, Fabio Payne. If you were him, you would make the most of this opportunity, right? Not Fabio Payne. For example, one time he had asked Drogba to pick him up for practice, but Fabio forgot there was a training session, leaving Drogba honking his horn. And after just 4 months he left Chelsea to go back to Portugal, leaving him with no club to play for the rest of the season. After this he tried to shoot his shot in China, then Malta, Lithuania, and then Luxembourg. Not one of them worked. Not only this, he was also accused of raping a girl. After that, in 2016, he would become a youth coach, but after getting in trouble he had to leave his coaching position. And he became a reality show host, but was kicked off for being violent. And in 2019 he would be sent to jail for possession of drugs. But if Fabio Payne's story makes you think it can't get any worse, then you are wrong, because there is no doubt that Adam Johnson has messed up his name and reputation more than any other footballer. Back in the early 2000s he was predicted to be a Ballon d'Or winner and the face of the next generation of football, but fast forward to when he left Man City to go to Sunderland and he would be convicted of sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl. He got a jail sentence of 6 years. After he got convicted, Sunderland kicked Adam out and Adidas cancelled their endorsements with him. Johnson was let out of prison in 2019, but the final nail in the coffin for Adam Johnson was when he said, and I quote, "I wish I raped her for 6 years. Much is unknown about what Adam Johnson is doing now."